Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been meaning to do this video for the longest time and yeah, I'm finally doing it. So I'm going to show you guys how I like to cream and powder contour my nose. Obviously you don't have to do cream and powder, but I'm showing you just in case you were cream contouring and you wanted to know how to do both together, then do that. If you want to know just how to do one of them, then you're going to know that also. It's basically the same method for both of them, but I'm also showing you how you combine the two together. And before anyone says any rubbish and talks about my nose job and how I don't need to contour, of course I do. It gives your face that structure and dimension. Yes, I love my nose now and it's a lot smaller than it was before, but it's still, when you contour the rest of your face, you kind of still need to contour your nose so that your nose doesn't look so flat and like non-existent, if that makes sense, against the rest of your face. I hope that makes a little bit of sense as to why you should contour your nose. But aside from giving your nose structure and not being washed out in the center of your face, contouring your nose can make it look a little bit slimmer, which is why I really enjoy doing it. And yeah, although I have had a nose job, I still like to make it look more, you know, pointy and defined and sharper. Now bear in mind, this method might not work for absolutely every single person. Contouring isn't a sort of one size fits all type of thing, if that makes sense. Everyone's got different noses, like face shapes, nose sizes, structures and all of that. So just be aware of that when you are contouring your nose. Give it a go, see if it works for you, change it up if you need to, skip a few steps, add a few steps if you feel like you need to, do what works for you. I hope you take away something from this video anyway, but for now, I hope you enjoy watching this tutorial. First things first, I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and I'm just going to take this underneath my eyes as I normally would in like an upside down V. Now the reason I'm showing you this part is because I want to show you how far I take the concealer. So I kind of take it down the sides of my nose. So like up the sides of my nose a little bit, as you can see, and this will just start with the like nose slimming prep, and then I'm also just going to take some down the bridge and also at the tip. Sorry for my croaky voice guys, I have a really sore throat. So I'm taking my iconic London pigment stick in the shade 4.3 and I'm just taking this down the sides of my nose and also just at the tip, and then creating it like a little line above where I've already highlighted, and this is going to help us create like a ball effect. You don't have to use something quite as dark as this one, just one that's maybe like a couple of shades darker than your actual skin tone, but I like to use something a bit darker so it's a bit more dramatic and prominent. Then I'm going to blend out the concealer under my eyes, and that's also down the sides of my nose, and then I'll also blend out that highlighter just down the bridge of my nose also. I then like to blend out the cream contour, so I'm using a beauty blender to do this, just because I find that it's the best way to blend out the cream contour on your nose, because it's going to pick up any excess product. It's not going to smudge it around anywhere where you don't want it to go. It's just the best way to do it. And then yeah, just blending out all of those funky lines on the nose by just patting and blending, if that makes sense. So I'm then going back in with the same concealer just to highlight the nose a little bit further again. You can actually like not do this in the first place and then save the nose highlighting till after. Sometimes I like to do it like both times just because it helps guide me when I want to apply my cream contour. And then I'm using a powder contour. This is the Rodial powder and the brush I'm using is a MAC 224. It's actually an eye blending brush, but I really like to use a brush like this. So yeah, I'm taking it down the sides of my nose and I take it all the way up to the brow bone, and then I also take it at the tip of the nose, and then very slightly over where I created that line at the end of the nose also. Then I'm going to use a translucent powder. This is the Mercier one, and I go in quite heavily with it by taking it down the sides of the nose and like kind of like in a straight line. On both sides of the nose. What this is going to do is it's going to help clean up that powder, or clean up that contour, to make the lines look a bit more sharper but not as dark, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of just going over all of the areas where I highlighted to just soften up that nose contour, if that makes sense, and just make it look more prominent. And then I'm taking the powder contour just on the nostrils a teeny weeny bit. And then after that, this step is optional, but I really like to highlight my nose, and I'm using a powder highlighter. This is the Jouer in Skinny Dip one, and I just go over where I cream highlighted, so just the bridge of the nose. I leave that little gap where I created that line, and then I also just take it at the tip of the nose, really to accentuate like a nice pointy tip. So this is how I nose contour, guys. I hope it helped. If you'd like to see any more videos like this, leave it down below. Thanks for watching. Mwah. Bye.